My dear friend, welcome. It is Alexander. I am so deeply honored you have chosen to be here, to share your time and your attention. Let us take a quiet breath together and be fully present. For today, we are not here to discuss a simple hack or a productivity technique. We are here to speak about the very heart of the human condition. We are here to speak about the one thing we all share in our deepest, most silent moments, but which we all try to hide in the shadows. We are here to talk about your suffering. We live in a world that has sold us a great, pervasive, and poisonous lie. It's on every screen, in every advertisement, and in the curated, false perfections of social media. The lie is that a good life is a life free from pain. That comfort is the ultimate goal. That happiness is a state of perpetual, uninterrupted ease, and that any deviation from this is a sign of failure. This is the philosophy of the fragilista, the modern architect of systems that, in an attempt to protect us from all harm, make us exquisitely weak. We are taught to eliminate all volatility, all stressors, all pain, and in doing so we become like a bone that is never stressed, growing brittle and hollow until it snaps at the slightest touch. And so, we spend our lives terrified of the one thing that is guaranteed. We run from it. We numb it with endless distractions, scrolling, binging, eating, drinking. We medicate it with cheap comforts. We build these fragile, hollow lives of pleasant routine, desperately hoping that the storm will never find us. But the storm always hits. It is the nature of life. It is the price of admission for being alive. And when it does, when the diagnosis comes, when the heartbreak lands, when the job is lost, when the betrayal stings, we shatter. We fall apart and believe, in our terrible isolation, that we are the exception, that our pain is a sign of our failure. We feel shame for our grief. We feel anxiety about our anxiety. This is the second suffering, the truly toxic layer, where we suffer not just from the event, but for being the one who suffers. We feel weak because we are not strong enough to just be positive and get over it. We are told to move on when we can barely stand. This is the universal wound. This is the silent, shared despair of the modern world, born from a deep misunderstanding of our own nature. But I am here to tell you the truth, a truth that the great masters and survivors of history have known for millennia. Your pain is not a mistake. Your suffering is not a sign that you are broken. It is not a punishment for some past failing. Your suffering is a summons. It is a profound spiritual invitation, forged in the very fires of your life, to wake up. It is a call to become the person you were truly born to be. The universe is not punishing you. It is disrupting a life that was, perhaps, too small for your soul. It is breaking the shell so that the real you can finally emerge. The masters of the ancient world, the Stoics and the great survivors like Viktor Frankl, did not ask, "How can I avoid suffering?" That is the question of a child. They asked the question of an adult, "How can I use it?" They did not see themselves as victims of fate. They saw themselves as alchemists. And today, I am going to give you the Alchemist's playbook. We are going to stop running from the fire. We are going to walk directly into it. And we are going to learn how to turn the lead of your deepest, most agonizing pain into the unbreakable gold of your greatest, most authentic purpose. To begin this transformation, we must travel to the darkest place in human history, to the heart of the 20th century's deepest wound, with a man named Viktor Frankl. Frankl was a brilliant psychiatrist, but in the concentration camps, he was stripped of everything. His home, his family, his name, his dignity, his life's work, all gone. He was a number, surrounded by death, starvation, and casual daily cruelty. He observed that in this inferno, where every external comfort was removed, human nature was revealed in its most raw form. He saw that some men, often the most physically robust, withered into animalistic despair, betraying their friends for a crust of bread. And yet, others, with the exact same empty stomachs and the exact same frozen fingers, became saints, sharing their last piece of food, comforting the dying. He asked, "Why? What is the difference?" What he discovered was the single most powerful truth of our existence. He called it the last of the human freedoms. It is the one thing that can never be taken from you, even when you are in chains. It is the power to choose your attitude in any given set of circumstances. They could control his body, but they could not control his response. They could not touch his inner world, his inner sanctuary. He was free. In that hopeless place, he realized that suffering itself is not the problem. Meaningless suffering is the problem. The pain becomes unbearable only when we cannot see a reason for it. He saw that the men who survived were not always the physically strongest, but the ones who had a reason to, a why. He famously wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." This, my friend, is the first step of the alchemist. You must stop asking the child's question, "Why is this happening to me?" It is a trap. It is a spiral of resentment that leads only to bitterness and victimhood. You must instead ask the master's question, "What meaning can I find in this? What is this asking of me?" Your why is your shield. Your why is your fuel. How do you find it? Frankl taught that we find meaning in 3 ways, and you must explore all of them. First, in a great work, a task, a mission, the book you must write, the business you must build, the change you must make in the world. This is the meaning of creation. Second, in a great love, in caring for another person, in being a pillar for your family, in thinking of the children who need you to be strong, or in honoring the memory of someone you have lost by living the life they would be proud of. This is the meaning of connection. And third, and most profoundly, in the attitude you take toward unavoidable suffering. Sometimes the meaning is simply to bear the pain with dignity, to stand as a testament of courage. Your why doesn't need to be grand. It doesn't need to change the world. It just needs to be yours. Maybe your why is just to see the next sunrise with a shred of grace to prove to the darkness that it cannot extinguish your light. Maybe it's to use your pain as a way to understand the pain of others. I ask you, what is yours? What task is unfinished? Who needs your strength? What do you stand for? Dig for it. Write it down. Speak it. Because as Frankl taught, suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds a meaning. Do not ask for the pain to be taken away. Ask for the purpose to make it matter. Once you have your why from Frankl, you have your compass. It is the light in the darkness, but you still have to walk through the fire. This is where we turn from the psychiatrist's insight to the warrior's mindset. This is where we turn to the ancient Stoics who perfected the how. While Frankl gave us the purpose, the Stoics gave us the process. Their entire philosophy, captured perfectly by Ryan Holiday, is built on one earth-shattering idea. The obstacle is the way. I want you to burn that phrase into your mind. Your suffering, that thing you are trying to avoid, numb, or run from, is not in the way of your life. Your suffering is the path. The failure, the heartbreak, the sickness, the crippling fear, that is not the barrier. That is the raw material. That is the fire. That is the hammer. And you are the steel. This is the forge of character. The universe is not punishing you. It is training you. The problem you are facing is not a random, cruel twist of fate. It is a perfectly designed curriculum, custom-made to teach you the exact lesson you need to learn to become the person you are meant to be. This is the core of anti-fragility. Nassim Taleb teaches that the opposite of fragile is not robust or resilient. A robust teacup, if dropped, is fine, but it doesn't improve. The opposite of fragile is anti-fragile, something that gains from disorder. Your muscle must be torn to grow stronger. Your immune system must be stressed by germs to learn, and your soul must be stressed by obstacles to gain wisdom and strength. This is not just poetry. It is a biological and spiritual imperative. The very volatility you are trying to avoid is the only thing that can make you grow. The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, surrounded by plague, war, and betrayal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He meant that every obstacle is a perfect, tailor-made opportunity to practice a virtue. When you are betrayed by a friend, it is a devastating event, yes, but it is also a perfect opportunity to practice forgiveness, to learn resilience, to set stronger boundaries, and to clarify your own values. When you are afraid to speak in public, your fear is not a stop sign. It is a signpost pointing directly to the work you must do to find your voice and practice courage. When you are frustrated by a massive delay, it is an opportunity to practice patience, to surrender control, and to find a creative, lateral solution. When you face an arrogant or cruel person, they are not just an irritation. They are your personal trainer for patience, for compassion, for unshakable inner calm. Do you see? The obstacle doesn't just block the path, it is the path. Your suffering is not a random bug in the system, it is the central feature of your transformation. This philosophy is not cold or unfeeling, it is the opposite. It is the ultimate empowerment. It doesn't ask you to suppress your feelings, it asks you to reframe the event. It doesn't deny your pain, it honors it by giving it a noble purpose. It takes you from the passive, powerless position of a victim and places you in the active, powerful position of a student, an alchemist, a warrior. Stop trying to find a way around your pain. Stop asking for an easier life. Ask to be a stronger person. The only way forward, the only way to your true power, is through it. You have the why from Frankl. You have the core concept from the Stoics and Taleb. Now you need the practical, step-by-step Alchemist's playbook. How, in the real, messy, painful world, do you do this when the pain is fresh and the fear is loud? The process is a simple three-part discipline. First, the discipline of perception. This is where you apply your why. This is the most crucial step. The event itself is neutral. It is just a thing that happened. Your judgment about it is what makes it bad, catastrophic, or the end of the world. The Stoics called this objective representation. You must strip the event of its story, its emotion, and its drama. You were not disrespected. Someone spoke words. You were not ruined. You lost a specific amount of money. This is not to deny your feeling, but to separate the fact from the fiction. The fiction is, this is a disaster and my life is over. The fact is, a new, unexpected challenge has arrived. This is your power. You must ask yourself, can I use this? Is there an opportunity here? What is this teaching me? Is this failure the end of your life? Or is it a profound, if painful, lesson that is redirecting you? Is this rejection proof that you are worthless, or is it simply feedback that saves you from the wrong path, freeing you for the right one? You have the power to assign the meaning. Change your perception, and you change the entire game. Second, the discipline of action. Once you see clearly, you must act. But you must act with precision, not panic. Anxiety and despair live in the overwhelming, abstract and imagined future. Action lives in the concrete, immediate now. You cannot solve economic collapse, but you can send one resume. You can make one phone call. You can sell one item. You cannot cure depression, but you can get out of bed and drink one full glass of water. You can put on your shoes and walk to the end of the street. You cannot fix heartbreak, but you can write one single page in a journal or send one text to a friend you trust. You must break the overwhelming problem down to its smallest possible component, to a task so small it is almost insulting, and then you must do that one thing. Action is the antidote to anxiety. Motion dispels fear. It restores your sense of agency. It proves to your mind, which is watching you, that you are not helpless, that you are not a victim. You are in command. Third, the discipline of will. This is the final and hardest step. This is for the things you cannot change, the diagnosis that is terminal, the loss that is permanent, the past mistake that is already made. This is where you must practice what the Stoics called amor fati, a love of your fate. This is not passive resignation. It is not saying, I guess I'm stuck with this. It is an active, powerful, defiant acceptance. It is the choice to say, if this is to be my reality, then I will not just bear it. I will embrace it. I will love it. I will not let 1 ounce of this suffering go to waste. I will use it to make me more compassionate, more resilient, more grateful. This is the ultimate freedom, to accept what is without bitterness or resentment, and to transform your acceptance into a source of unbreakable, transcendent strength. When you combine Frankl's Why with the Stoics' 3-step playbook, you have completed the alchemical transformation. You have taken the lead of your suffering and turned it into gold. But what is the gold? This is the most important part. It is not that the suffering stops. It is not that the world becomes kind or that the storms cease to rage. The storms will always rage. The gold is that you become different. You become stronger than the storm. The reward for this work is the character you build. You become what Nassim Taleb calls anti-fragile. This is a concept so powerful, it changes how you see the world. We are taught to be resilient, like a piece of rubber that when struck bends and then returns to its original shape. But that is not growth, that is just survival. The opposite of fragile is not resilience. The opposite of fragile is anti-fragile, something that gains from disorder. The fire tempers the steel, making it harder. The wind forces the tree to grow deeper, more complex roots. The bone, when it breaks, heals stronger at the break. This is you. You must understand that you are not a teacup designed for a placid shelf. You are a biological and spiritual being, designed to be strengthened by stressors. The chaos, the volatility, the very pain you tried to avoid is the only thing that can make you grow. You are no longer a person who fears chaos. You are a person who thrives in it because you know that every setback is a setup for a comeback. You know that every wound is a womb for wisdom. This is the ultimate purpose of suffering. It is not to break you. It is to reveal the part of you that is unbreakable. Frankl's ultimate freedom, combined with the Stoics' ultimate strength, forges the unbreakable soul. You will have proven to yourself in the darkest of nights that no matter what the world throws at you, it cannot extinguish your inner light. It cannot break your will. It cannot steal your meaning. This becomes your superpower. What does this mean in real life? It means you are no longer afraid. And when you are no longer afraid, you are truly free. You are free to take the big risks. You are free to love deeply, knowing that even if you face heartbreak, you will survive and grow. You are free to speak your truth in a crowded room, not with aggression, but with a calm certainty, because you are no longer addicted to the approval of others. You are free to start the business, write the book, move to the new city, because you know that even if you fail, you will not be broken. You will learn, you will adapt, and you will grow stronger. You have exchanged the fragile chains of validation for the unbreakable freedom of internal purpose. But this power comes with a final, beautiful responsibility. Your healed wound becomes a gift to others. You gain the one thing that can only be earned through fire, wisdom. You gain true, profound empathy. You can now look another person in pain, not with cheap, distant pity, but with true, knowing compassion. Pity looks down. Empathy sits beside. You can now sit beside another soul in their darkness, not to fix them, but to see them. You can say, I have been where you are. I know this fire, I know this darkness, and I know the way through, not around it, but through it. This is the final, beautiful meaning of it all. Your suffering was not just for you. It was the training you needed to become a healer, a leader, a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run out into the sea to save the ships. It does not panic. It simply stands firm in its own foundation, roots deep in the rock, and it shines its light. It is a beacon of hope, an unwavering point of reference in the storm. This is who you become. You become a living testament that it is possible to endure the worst of life and not only survive, but to become something greater, stronger, and more full of light than you ever were before. This is the ultimate power. This is the true purpose of your pain, to reveal to you and to the world that the part of you that matters is and always was truly invincible. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Be kind to yourself on the journey and know that you are not alone until we speak again.